What's up, everybody, and welcome back to A Beer A Day with TK. It's Friday evening here in Findlay, Ohio. The work week is over, so it's time to chill, relax, and have a couple beers. The beer I have on offer today is Narragansett Lager. This is an American adjunct lager from the Narragansett Brewing Company, originally from Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Now, I'd heard about this brewery for years and this beer, but I'd never really seen it on the shelves anywhere near me. Now, in the last year or maybe year and a half, I've started to see this and some of the other variations pop up. When I lived in Philly even, I never really saw Narragansett. Rhode Island's not that far from Philly. Now, one thing I did find was interesting. If you look on the can now, it says that this is from the Narragansett Brewing Company in Rochester, New York. So I know, obviously, I guess Rochester's probably not that far from Pawtucket, but I don't know if maybe they've been bought up by somebody else. I think, Rochester would probably be Genesee and those kind of beers. So I don't know, maybe they're in the same family now. When I went to the website, it still had its own website. And it showed you some of the beers they had. So they had this, they had a light beer, they had Dell's Shandy, a coffee milk stout, and a couple of other offerings as well. Like I said, this is a beer I'd heard about for years. Went to check it out and see what the ratings look like. On Untapped, they got a 3.14, not that bad. Beer Advocate, a 3.39. I was also doing a little bit of research, reading about it, and I thought one thing was interesting. They boasted as being the highest rated heritage lager in America, which kind of made me think about beer a little differently. This brewery here, it says it's from since 1890. Obviously, Yingling is much older, but there are a lot of breweries that were kind of popular for a long period in American history. Some of them have faded away. Some of them have been bought out and are not now part of these multinational corporations. So I think about, brands like Pabst and Schlitz. And like I said, I'm from Philadelphia, so Schaefer, Ortlieb's. You had all these kinds of beers at one point, and most of them weren't particularly great. They were generally, Pilsner-esque kind of yellow beers with some fizz and a little bit of alcohol in them. Some of them are good, some of them are terrible. Some of them are just kind of a bit of nostalgia sometimes. So when I think back about kind of heritage beers, in college I usually drank Yingling, but I didn't drink the ubiquitous Yingling Lager that everybody sees on the shelves now. I used to drink a beer that was just called Yingling Premium. It's kind of their generic beer. It was relatively cheap. You could get 16-ounce returnable bottles for, I don't even know what it was, probably $8-9 a case. You'd return it. Half of the returnable bottles would have cigarette butts in them. Half of them would be broken. You might have, of a case of 24, 17 of them. And maybe you return it and hope to get your money back. But I always kind of enjoyed that beer. Was it something spectacular compared to what we have out today? Of course not. But I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun drinking it. So I'm hoping this is something similar. Like I said, 5% ABV. Ratings look all right. Let's give it a shot. Going with my Hocker Shore glass today. I had a couple Hocker Shores earlier, so I'm just going to keep the same glass. I don't want to dirty another one. All right. Look pretty clear. You can see through it. Carbonation, not a heck of a lot. I see like a few bubbles escaping here, but not a lot. As far as the head, got at least 2 fingers there. Looks a tiny bit soapy, but not terrible. Smell. For an adjunct lager, it really doesn't have that gross sweet smell that a lot of them tend to have. This is going to sound like a cop-out, but it kind of just has a generic beer smell. Maybe a little bit malty, not much on the hop sense. But if you've ever spilled beer on your shirt and the next day you smell it, it kind of just smells like this, like beer. Let's give it a taste. Relatively light body, pick that up. Taste isn't bad. You get a bit of malt, get a little bit of sweetness. It kind of tastes like that adjuncty corn sweetness, but it's not really strong and cloying and gross. It's just kind of there. It's tolerable. It's acceptable. Don't really pick up much of a hops presence at all. If anything, this is just kind of like malt and a little bit of sweetness. That being said, certainly drinkable. You could put down a few of these, probably no problem. There's nothing offensive about the beer. It's not like so much hops you don't like it. It's not an alcohol burning taste. Doesn't do anything particularly poorly. Now, at the same time, doesn't do anything particularly great or grand either. But if you're just looking for, one of these, the heritage lagers, as they called them, that's just kind of beer, generic beer in the traditional sense of American brewing, I think this is a decent representation. It's pretty solid overall, so I would give it a shot. Now, I did notice this on the webpage. If they had a promotion called Shot in a Beer, and I guess it's trying to promote people to go and get a COVID shot, and it said if you got one or if you help someone else get one, and you post a photo of yourself drinking a Gansett, it says, hi neighbor, Gansett, have a Gansett. If you post yourself drinking one of these beers with the hashtag hi neighbor, which is apparently, again, one of their bylines or promotional lines. If you post hi neighbor and a photo of you with the beer, you get entered into a contest and you can win some, I think it said some gift cards, like Visa gift cards or something like that. I think it said $25 gift cards, and there might have been 100 of them. I could be wrong on that, but you can get something out of it. So I'll probably take a picture with the Gansett and send it in. Now, the cool thing is they said they're on the honor system. You don't have to prove that you got the vaccines. You don't need your passport or anything like that. Overall, Narragansett, this is an all right beer. Again, not the greatest thing in the world. Never expected it to be. I expected this to be like Yingling Premium or some of the other kind of middle of the road, kind of generic American beers. And it fits the bill. It's good. I would have another one. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit subscribe. And as always, if you have any comments or questions, jump in down below. So Narragansett, thumbs up. Enjoy. Hi, neighbor.